Hey, we're live. Welcome, everybody. I'm Judge Dieter. I'm going to be running the new DCC Horror module. It's Consumes by Thorin Thompson. I have some people here who are going to play the characters, and hopefully they're not all going to die. We have some experienced DCC players. We have some beginners. We have some moderate people. So it's a mix of players. I hopefully we have a mix of viewers too. So basically the setup for this adventure is the mining town of Iron Hills has been sending iron south to Duke Stevens lands for a long time, but suddenly those shipments just stopped coming. And so in response, Duke Stephen needs that iron to make weapons for the wars he's fighting and whatnot. So he contacted his second cousin, Roger, and said, Roger, I know you know some adventuring dirtbags. Gather them up and go to Iron Hills and find out what has stopped the iron shipments. Basically, you have free reign, Roger, when you get there to solve the problem any way you want. As long as those iron shipments start again, you will be well paid.
Yeah, just to make sure, Stephen, this is not a request, is it?
No, absolutely, it's not a request. So, Roger, tell everyone about yourself.
Oh, I'm related to royalty. I was a minstrel at a point. I have adventured with a group of interesting and colorful people. I myself keep trying to move away from being an adventurer, but I keep finding people thinking I'm useful and pushing me back. He's a little bit more like an Elizabethan rake. He wears blue outfits. He's got a breastplate, backplate, morion, bracers, rapier and dagger. He still kind of hopes that he can escape being an adventurer, but once he's in, he's in. And his companions are maybe not as polished. The one time he brought them to a court did not go very well. But they're good people, and he can count on them.
Fantastic. Braggart Bone Skull, who are you?
It's been a long time since I left the Warren. I don't remember why I was kicked out. I don't remember if I was kicked out. It's been a long time since I left the Warren. I've got a sword. I've got a board. I left them around here somewhere. They're yeah. I'll get them. I got them.
Oh, Frankie Four Fingers, tell us your story.
Well, what you see is the skinniest, scrawniest halfling you've ever seen in your life. And he's got like the early 80s gym teacher mustache and no other facial hair. And the most unusual thing about him is both of his hands, at first you think have 4 fingers, but you realize that they are 4-fingered gloves that he shoved his 5 fingers into, and they look as awkward as they feel. And he's Frankie Four Fingers. Nice to meet you.
Mariv, Shadow Dancer.
Mariv, a young halfling who left home in search of adventure and maybe to leave some responsibilities behind. And the thing about responsibilities is they catch up with you. So once a mariner, now adapting to the lifestyle of a dirty finger waggler, a wizard, as it were, and joining this ragtag group to polish their skills and not die as they amass some arcane treasure.
Fantastic. And who is this strange being called Spaceman?
What did you say? I think your quaint human tongue is having trouble pronouncing Spachemin. Walking among you is a 6 foot tall, painfully lanky figure, carrying a two-handed sword with a shockingly red blade. He speaks often of the four fates.
4. Mhm. So this is our adventuring party who have arrived at the small mining village of Iron Hills. You've come up a muddy road that leads to a stone bridge that spans across a rocky vale. At the threshold of the bridge is a stone-capped archway with dwarven runes carved into the stone. Beyond the bridge, the road steadily winds up craggy hills towards a settlement of weathered shacks and shanties. The last of the day's light is starting to wane as a light snow begins to fall. What do you do from here?
And we are on this bridge, is that right?
You are right in front of the bridge, about to pass under the archway onto the bridge that leads to Iron Hills.
You there, you appear to be a dwarf. What is this inscription all about?
What does the inscription say?
The runes say Jurn Holkaz, which translates to Iron Hills in the common tongue.
Shocking.
Useful.
Yeah,
Descriptive.
just I think it tells us where we are.
Ah,
Well, let's go forth and find the headman or the mayor or the whatever they have in this village, solve the problem, and go back to civilized places.
Fantastic. So you cross the bridge over this rocky vale and wind up the muddy path as the snow starts to fall a little heavier as you walk. And you kind of come into the edge of this little town, and an eerie silence hangs over everything, and there is not a single soul in sight. The muddy road is little more than a horse track winding up the slope. Abandoned shanties line the road. Their shutters clatter in the bitter wind. Their doors are left open, allowing the snow to just blanket the interiors. As the light of day grows dim, you perceive a single two-story building with lighted windows halfway up the winding road.
Out of curiosity, looking at this road, are there signs of like horse tracks, donkey carts, footprints even, or does everything seem like nobody's trod on it?
There are no tracks that seem terribly recent.
Now, Well, gentlemen, it appears there's but a single inn with the light on. Shall we continue?
Sure. I'm a little worried that there's only one place about. Sun's barely setting.
And there's no sign of foot traffic, and the place seems deserted. Now, we could all think that perhaps they've all gone on winter holiday, but I doubt it. So I think there are adverse conditions going on. So be ready.
Hi, hi.
Kitty!
Going up into the village a little farther towards the inn. The inn building looks cozy and inviting. Light filters out through the panes of the window. And it's strange. It's the only building you've seen that's lit at all. There's a wooden sign swinging in the breeze with the image of a chisel painted in gold varnish. And under it, it reads, "The Singin' Chisel."
An unusual choice of instruments. We enter the inn.
Right, a gust of wind blows open the door as you enter, dimming the candles and forcing the chandeliers to sway. Inside, there's a small halfling warming herself by the fire, and a rotund dwarf is tending the bar. Other than that, there's nobody in here. And as soon as you step in from behind the bar, the dwarf shouts, "Well, don't just stand there letting in the night's chill. Shut the door and welcome to the Singin' Chisel. All travelers are welcome. Yes, indeed. Warm yourselves by the fire and I will be right with you."
Thank you, Keeper.
I tip my hat to the halfling lady and say, "Good eve, ma'am."
She kind of, like, as you walked through the door, she just kind of looked up at you a little bit and then went back to her. But as you approach her, she looks up at you and her face brightens up a little bit. She says, hello, hello. My name's Chocolate Chip Carol. I'm the finest maker of chocolate chips in this realm or the next.
Well, good to
who are
know.
you? What brings you here?
Allow me to introduce myself. I am Roger de Coverley. I have come here to find out what has happened to the production of iron in your little village.
It is strange. I came to this village myself only recently to sell my cookies, but nobody wanted any cookies. It's very strange. I was going to start a bakery in this thriving mining settlement. It should have been a no-brainer. I should have been rich, but nobody was buying any cookies. Day and night, everyone is down in that mine.
Cookies are silly, frivolous, pointless things. It's obvious why no one would buy them.
What? You? Listen, have you tried one of my cookies? And she like reaches into her pouch and pulls out like a little wax paper that she unwraps, and she hands a slightly crumbled cookie to you.
Well, seeing that she's offering it, I can't refuse her, but with reluctance, Spachemin takes the cookie and he holds on to it for a moment, hoping she may turn her attention elsewhere so that he doesn't.
She expectantly watches, waiting for you to bite it.
Hey,
and gentlemen, we all stare at you. Spachemin,
you gonna finish that?
As a taste, Spachemin.
Would you be interested in it?
It's gone. I take it out of your hand.
Well,
Madam, you'll have to forgive Spachemin. He was dropped repeatedly on his head as a child.
Oh,
Slanderous.
I understand.
Why don't I travel with you, de Coverley?
Miss Carol.
Yes.
I understand being a person of business, as I am also a person of business.
Oh.
And with winter coming, you should probably want some gloves to keep those hands nice and toasty. Because I, just like you, make the best gloves in all the realm.
Well, that's fantastic. I have not made any money, but I will trade you cookies for gloves.
Like, opens up his cloak, and hanging from it just this beautiful collection of gorgeously made gloves. They all have 4 fingers.
There's not enough. I like that pair.
I trade you for the cookie, my
great.
madam.
And she pulls a couple more like wax packets out of her bag and hands them to you.
I eat them as quickly as possible.
Okay, they're very good cookies. You
Excellent.
have had cookies before, and these are among the best.
And then I will chin up to the bar unless anything else happens.
So, madam, again, you were saying that all the people here are working day and night in the mines, and they're not coming back to their homes. They're
yes. Like she like hunches down and lowers her voice as if someone is going to overhear what she's saying. Yeah, they're down in the mine all the time. Like nobody comes home and nobody comes out of the mine. Only buttloads of barrels. Like they bring barrels out of the mine, and that's it. They found something down there.
Where do they bring the barrels?
Some of them go. Some of them come here. Some of them go to the stables. I don't know. They go to different places. But I am determined to find out what it is that they found down there.
Well, we may need your assistance because we're here from the Duke to find out why.
Which Duke?
The Duke.
Oh, I'm sorry. My second cousin somewhere is just winced in pain. Duke Stephen.
Oh, Duke Stephen. Yes, of course.
Handsome lad, kind of a jerk.
I bet he would buy my cookies.
Probably not. You'd have them taken from you, though. Not a nice man. It's all right. We're family. I can say things like that when I'm not around him. And
Make a name for yourself enough here, you might be able to sell your cookies back at the castle as a show of
So,
favor.
so Frankie, you went up to the bar where the dwarf is behind the bar, like polishing glasses that look like they haven't actually even been used in quite a while. Welcome to the Sing and Chisel. You be needing some drinks, a room.
Well, let's start with the important stuff. Drinks.
Drinks, indeed. Well, sadly, I just have some ale. It's not the greatest ale, but it's yours for the right price.
Would you be interested in a trade?
No, thank you. I have all the gloves I need. Thank you.
Suit yourself.
Oh, what brings you to town?
Cookies?
Cookies. Oh,
Looking
well,
for a
yes.
fifth finger.
You're in luck because Carol, she makes cookies.
I'd like to give the room
delicious.
I'd like to give the room a big smell. Is there any gold in this place?
There is not. Other than anything that you all brought with you. You do not really smell. There's maybe some copper, maybe a little bit of silver somewhere, but no, there's no gold to be found.
No gold. Stale ale. Cookies.
So
This is the
Carol.
saddest bar I've ever been in.
you'll be
Under my
wanting,
breath, I've been in worse.
you'll be wanting a room or two then, I suppose. I've got 4 great rooms upstairs, and as you can see, there's kind of above the bar, there's like a railway loft, and there's 4 like doors up there, and at the side of the room, stairs go up to the 2nd level.
Spachemin will look around at his cohorts and ask, are we here for sleeping, or are we here for solving this problem and getting the hell out of here?
Spoochemin, we've been traveling all day to get here. Now, we
Yes.
could work tirelessly without sleep, without rest, long into the night until we collapse and are no use to anyone. Or we could perhaps spend the night, see what we can find out, and in the morning investigate further. There is only really one right answer on this one.
Carol,
Does it involve
I-
cookies?
I will defer to you mortals.
Well, as party leader and treasurer and payer of all debts, I think we should listen to Roger.
Agreed. That makes sense. That just makes sense.
We would gladly take the rooms available.
well, that is fantastic. So you get set up with a couple rooms. Carol has one of the rooms already to herself, but there's 3 other rooms available. You can split yourself amongst them, or just all stay in one room, whatever you want to do. But tell me what it is you want to do.
I think that Spoochemin and Frankie should share one room, and the other adventurers should share the other one.
Yeah, we've been here before. But what was it, Carol? Carol said
Carol.
that the mines are producing day and night. Something's coming out of those barrels. I kind of want to watch and see if we can find what lot they're bringing out and get a peek at what's in those barrels when they come out of the mines. Anyone up for a little late night investigation?
I have no need for sleep in the sense that you think of it. So yes.
Carol says, I'm going to get a good night's sleep, but if you need help in the morning, come find me.
So elves don't need sleep.
I don't believe I said any such thing.
All right.
So is someone going out and doing some exploring then? Is that what's happening here?
So
Yeah.
roughly, like, what's the view of the mine from the inn? Like,
Um,
is it possible to sort of survey the area and watch for people coming out with the sort of barrels that Carol described?
Not so much, no. Like the main door of the inn faces kind of like downhill away from the mine. The mine is further up the hill with a winding road. If you go out a ways, like out to the road, you can maybe see the entrance to the mine, but not from inside the inn really.
Okay.
Each of your rooms does have a little window that faces back, but there's kind of just it kind of looks out on just a steep hill.
And it's fairly
Yeah.
cold. It's like snowing.
Yeah,
right?
it's snowing pretty heavily at this point.
And do we know, like, how long of a walk would it be to the entrance of the mine? Like minutes,
What-
hours?
Minutes.
Okay.
Like this is not a very big place, and the mine is just basically at the top of this hill.
Got it.
Okay. That in mind, I think rest is probably in order because we probably spent the day traveling here. Yeah.
Okay, so each of your rooms has a small, like one-person bed with a pretty comfy looking white mattress on it, and just a tiny table and a small chair. So basically only one person in each room gets a bed, and the others are sleeping on the floor.
So I immediately go in and like starfish on the bed, and it's like a cat where, despite my size, I somehow take up the entire space.
Well, it's not a very big bed, so you have
I'm
no
not a
problem
very big
doing. You have
halfling.
no problem doing that.
Fine. Mario will take the chest from behind his back and open it up and take out a bit of sailcloth and fold it up into a rough sack pillow, as it were, and just sort of grumble as he like lays back to bed.
And in the other room, oh wait, sorry. Okay, so Roger or Braggart, still the bed is available if you choose to take it.
All right. All right, Bone Skull. We'll flip for it.
Oh no, I've got my board. I'll sleep on that. And he'll take his shield and he'll put it up between the windowsill and the whatever looks like it might be a dresser, and then just lay down on that, head against the window.
All right.
Well, I'm going to get some shut-eye. So
Great. So Roger lays down in the bed, and it is very comfortable. You fall asleep pretty quickly.
gentlemen, I got to ask you before I fall asleep, does anybody else wish that Frankie's mother had taught him to count to 5?
He's so lucky to get to 4.
So you fall asleep, Roger and Frankie, on these comfortable mattresses, and you have dreams of just like sinking into the clouds. This is the most amazingly comfortable mattress you have ever slept on. But after a while, like the clouds are suffocating you in your dreams, and you're having trouble breathing. And as you wake up and realize that your mattresses are attacking you. So, everybody, roll initiative.
Oh my gosh.
What? All right.
So it's just a 1d20 plus or minus your agility modifier.
Okay.
As a warrior, Jamie, you're going to add 2 to that because you add your level.
So
Exactly.
I rolled a 5 and my agility is 10. Am I rolling under or above?
No, you are
No, no.
you are just rolling a d20 and adding or subtracting your modifier. If you have a 10, there's no modifier.
Okay, so I have as a warrior, I have a 7.
Okay.
Yeah. That block next to you where it says hit points is going to have an initiative score there.
Fragger, what did you roll?
15.
Peter,
15?
did you want me to do initiative or
Yeah, yeah. Everybody go ahead and roll.
No, I mean,
roll.
did you want
Or-
me to track it for you?
Oh, I'll track it. I'll track it.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
okay
Cool.
with that. I can handle that. Frankie, what'd you get?
11.
Marieve,
19.
Spatchemin,
Spachemin got an 18.
18. All right, Marieve, you as you see you're kind of awakened as you hear just Roger like struggling and gasping for breath, and your eyes snap open and you see that his like mattress has turned into this kind of just white blob and is trying to encase him. What do you do?
Not this again. I think Bereave will take a couple of steps back and reach at their side and pull out their wand, their demon claw wand, and attempt to project a missile with it to damage the bed.
Fantastic. Let's see, the human claw wand. Okay, yes, still roll, make a roll to hit.
Captain. That is quite low. That is a 9.
A 9. You point your wand at this puffy mattress, and a little jet of fire shoots out. But the mattress like senses the heat coming and kind of just like goops out of the way, just barely.
Rats.
Spachemin,
I'm in the room with Frankie. Is that right?
that is correct.
All right. So I will draw my red-bladed two-handed sword and attempt to drive it through the lower portion of the mattress,
right.
assuming on the assumption that Frankie's feet don't extend down that far, but I could be wrong.
We'll find out.
Let's find out. Let's watch. I got a whopping 9 on that.
A 9. You take your sword and like stab it into the white gloppy mattress, and like your sword just goes in and pulls right back out. Doesn't look like it had any real effect on it.
Is it moving as I would expect a mattress to, or is it
No, it is moving now more like it doesn't really even look like a mattress anymore. It's just this kind of blob of white goopy stuff.
Okay, gotcha. So it kind of strings out of the
Right.
right, gotcha.
And now the mattresses get to attack. So what I will need here is Frankie and Roger. You're being enveloped by these mattresses. I need you to make reflex saving throws.
Right?
That's die 20 plus agility.
Plus whatever it says for your reflex save, right next to your agility.
Oh, there it is. Got it.
Oh,
4.
4. Okay.
17.
Okay. Frankie, you're kind of slow to wake up, and this blobby just completely envelops you, and you are now suffocating in this blob. Roger, on the other hand, like this, you've never been a heavy sleeper, so you wake up very quickly and you just kind of like leap out of bed as the mattress starts moving. Next is Braggart.
All the commotion happening, Braggart's just gonna kind of like, he's good. 5 more minutes, and
Okay.
pull his tunic up over his head.
All right. Braggart goes back to sleep. Frankie, you're struggling in this thing. You can basically, your only option here is to try to escape, and that requires a strength check.
Ooh. Oh, actually, I'm not bad with this. Yeah, he's, kind of crust of like cookie crumbs and drool on his mustache, and like, nah, ma, no school today. And six. Do I add my strength modifier to
Yeah,
that?
you add your strength modifier.
16.
To it. 16. Okay. Yeah, you as it envelops you, but you like claw your way out and just kind of rip your way out, and get your feet on the floor. Next, Roger, it is finally your turn to do something.
Well, I shall do a mighty deed and with a single flick, draw my rapier and skewer the thing.
Fantastic. Make an attack roll.
All right, and that is again also a 1d20.
Right.
Uh,
Plus your deed die,
right.
plus your strength modifier.
All right, my strength modifier is +1, and what was the other thing I need?
Your
Your attack bonus
Okay.
is a D4.
All right. Oh, so all right. So I will roll okay. I rolled a 13 +1 for my
Strength.
strength, and then I roll a d4 as well.
Yes.
Yes. Always.
Okay, a 3.
So that's a total of 16,
Uh-huh.
17. All right. You skewer the mattress. Roll some damage.
Okay.
And
now-
and the 3 you rolled on the D4 adds to your damage also.
all right. A rapier says 1d20 + 1d4.
That's your attack roll.
That's
Oh,
the
yeah.
attack roll. Yeah.
Oh, all right.
In
So it's
parentheses.
got it. It says 1d8 plus the d4 result. So here's
Right.
I rolled a 5, so I did 8 points of damage total.
5 plus your strength, so 6 points of damage. Okay, so yeah, you stab your rapier into this white glob and meet some resistance and kind of like swizzle your rapier around in it a little bit, and you feel like you injured it. You really have no physical evidence. That it's just a kind of a feeling you have as a warrior that you have damaged this thing. Back around to Marie.
All right. I think that it evading my wand has angered me, and I need to inflict some irony on it. So Marie will attempt to cast a spell. They will attempt to cast sleep on the mattress.
Fantastic.
All right. So let me go ahead and roll a. Oh, hell yeah. That is a 1.
A 1.
That is a 1.
A 1 is not good.
1 is not good, indeed. Let's see what happens on a 1.
So a 1 would be lost, failure, and worse. So give me roll a D6.
We're about to have Frankie 3 fingers.
I'm good.
That is a 6.
Okay, so it is merely a misfire. So for a misfire, roll a D4.
Okay. That would be a 1.
Caster immediately falls into a natural sleep.
Very good.
Fantastic. All right.
Sleep.
So Marie falls asleep.
And the spell is lost for the day.
Fantastic.
The mattress is like, sleep. This is what I do, pal.
Chairman.
Skull, are you going to assist at any point?
But Chairman, it is your turn.
I will, let's see, Frankie has jumped free from the mattress. I will once again attempt to cleave it in twain. I got a 14 total on that one.
All right. This time you definitely meet some resistance and cut like one small glop off the larger glop.
Oh, well, let's see. Let's see if I actually achieve any damage. That's a whopping 3 damage.
Okay, well, it's a very small piece that you chopped off the larger piece. All right, and
What is this stuff?
the mattresses again, like the one in just like glops off the bed towards Frankie again, trying to envelop you. And hits you with just this thunk, like using itself as kind of a big heavy club, just like whacks you upside the head. For 1 point of damage.
The mattress is like, you will sleep.
You will sleep. Meanwhile, in the other room, the other mattress keeps coming after Roger, and gets a 14, just narrowly missing. It like flops at you, but being the dashing hero that you are, you easily sidestep. And then it is Braggart's turn.
So Braggart asked for 5 more minutes.
You don't have it.
He's very annoyed that he didn't get his 5 minutes.
Take it out on the mattress.
He's gonna sit. He's gonna sit forward into the table and grab the board and throw the board over his head as my
Okay.
shield bash,
Okay.
and then grab his sword and attack what he thinks is his roommate, but is actually the mattress.
Okay.
So for the shield bash, that is a fumble.
Fantastic.
For the sword attack, it is a 14.
Okay. Well, you hit with the sword. So roll damage for that, and then we'll find out what happens with the shield.
The damage for the sword is a 4.
A 4. Okay. Yeah, you definitely slice like almost in half this giant blob of white gook. You might even just say stuff.
But not the stuff, because that's trademark.
That's right. Exactly.
So what? You have your fumble die. Do you know what?
I do not know how fumbles work for shield bashes.
It would be the same as a weapon. It's based on what armor you're wearing.
Right. And if you
So-
don't know the die, just give me your armor.
Armor class?
What type of armor? Like
Type
chain,
of-
plate, scale, leather?
Oh, studded leather.
Studded leather. So your fumble die is a D8. It is modified by your luck to be better. If you have a luck mod, let me know.
I do not. It's a 5.
A 5. You trip and fall. Well, it says you trip and fall, wasting this action. You are prone and must use an action to stand next round. I don't know. Do you want to? He has to waste the action next round because you already did the sword thing. Or
Yeah. We'll call it that. You'll lose your next action for. But yeah, you kind of like leap up, swinging with your sword and like throwing your shield at the same time, and you kind of like hit yourself in the back of the head with the shield and stumble to the ground.
So both my compatriots are currently prone
Yes.
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 as I'm fighting a mattress.
It's
Yes.
thematic. It's thematic, James.
You got this.
Burn
Frankie.
you, Stephen!
Frankie, it's your turn.
So I'm out of the mattress, right?
You're out of the mattress. Yes.
And am I close enough to my weapons, or do I need to like get across the?
It's a very small room. You were close to your
Great.
weapons.
I'll grab my weapons, one in each hand, look over. Hey, Spachemin, I don't know what you do in Elfland, but this isn't my jam. I'm gonna roll. So 2 weapon fighting. Ooh, a 7 which misses and a 16 which crits.
Fantastic. Yes, indeed, it does.
Don't know how crits work in Dungeon Crawl Classics.
Okay, so on
you
your
should have a crit die.
on your character sheet, yeah, it'll say crit die and crit table. So
Should
you
be
were
table 3.
probably
next-
table 3.
Next to hit points, there's combat basics, and you've got
Hit points. Oh, there you go. 1 die 8. Thank you.
So yes, you
And-
roll 1 die 8 on table 3.
Crit table 3.
Yep.
table 3. Got it.
And does luck modify this?
Yes.
It will.
Oh, a 1 for a 2.
No, you have a positive luck mod. It'll reduce the roll, or no, it'll increase. It's a crit. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
forgive
it's a
me.
crit. Not a
It will
yeah.
increase the roll.
So 2.
A 2. Attack sweeps foe off his feet. Next round, the enemy is prone. I don't know how you do that with a mattress. but-
This yeah, he doesn't really have feet, but you kind of like sweep it off the bed and it plops on the floor. Oh, and you roll damage also.
Okay. Looks like 4 points of damage.
Okay. It makes a gurgly noise at you.
Mom always said you turn your mattress once a quarter.
All right, Roger.
Oh, I've got a mighty deed. I remember there was this other swordsman who did his initials, so I'm going to make a cursive R into this stupid mattress.
Fantastic.
And I rolled a 14.
You hit.
Oh, and I get I think I get, actually it's a 15 because I get +1.
And
Right,
that
and what-
did you include your D4?
No.
That
I
is
rolled all.
always part of your attack. Roll that with every attack.
Oh, all right.
That is your attack bonus.
2, so it's actually a 17.
Okay. And that the deed die, if you get a 3 or higher on the D4, then your special mighty deed succeeds. Since you got a 2 though, that is the messiest R you've ever seen. In fact, it looks more like a Z. You're
No!
but roll damage because you definitely hit.
All right, so that's the sorry. Lost me D8, D12, D8, okay. And I dropped it. This is just not working out very well. Hang on, backup die.
It's always important to have backup dice.
Oh, there it is. I rolled an 8.
An 8. All right, you just like in making your Z, you just slice it like 3 times into 3 separate pieces, and they all just kind of flop to the floor and like quiver a little bit and then stop moving. So back around to Marieve. You are sleeping. It is so peaceful. You hear some noises though. You wish they would shut up.
5 more minutes.
Spachemin.
In our room, the mattress is still animate, correct?
Yes.
All right.
A few chunks have been sliced off of it, but it's animate for sure.
Franklin, I will ask you not to malign Elfland. Our furnishings do not attack us most of the time. I swing my 2-handed sword again. Oh, crud! I got an 8.
No, you swish it.
Insufficient.
It's this room is not quite big enough to swing a 2-handed sword in, so you hit the wall.
And Franklin, get out of the way.
The blob responds by just like heaving itself towards the window and just like crashes through the little window and plops down outside the inn and disappears into the snow.
I don't think we should pay for these rooms.
I yelling, "Follow me!" head to because obviously my companions in the other room have to be doing better than these guys were. I'm going to go check on the halfling baker to see if she has the same problem.
Okay. Yes, and Marie, you hear Roger shout, and that wakes you up since it's just a natural sleep. But okay, Roger, so you run over next door to the room that Carol is staying in, and you find that the door is like locked. From your own room, locking it is just like not even a bar. It's just like a little piece of wood like this big that kind of like but still it's enough to keep the door shut unless you're strong enough to break it down.
Can I listen to hear if there's any sort of struggle or thing going on?
Sure. Make an intelligence roll, I suppose.
My intelligence is 10.
So just roll a d20 with no modifier.
18.
18. All right, you listen at the door for a bit, and at first you don't think there's anything, but then you hear this kind of muffled like and a thump.
I break the door open with you.
All right, make a strength check.
All right, I've got a 13 strength, and it says I've got a +1 modifier.
Okay, so roll a d20 and add 1.
All right. I have a 15-16.
Okay, you easily break through, bash the door open. The door flies open and you see just this white kind of undulating glob sitting on the bed. Presumably Carol is inside. She's the one making the noise.
Is there any way of telling where she is in the blob?
Not particularly.
Is there any way, how does luck work in the system?
Luck, that's a good question. During certain points, I might ask you to make a luck check. And unlike other checks, when you make a luck check, you just roll a d20 and you're trying to get your luck or under. Other ways you can use luck is you can spend points of your luck to modify dice rolls. So if you spend 1 point of your luck permanently, you can add 1 to a dice roll.
All right.
Now, yeah, halflings, Frankie, actually regenerate their luck though. So you can. I don't know if I'd say you can spend it willy-nilly because it comes back slowly, but you do get it back.
All right. I'm going to do a wonderful vertical, spring in the room, lunge, and do a horizontal cut across the top of this thing.
Okay.
Because I'm going to hope that gravity is working and halfling. So we'll go for that. A mighty deed indeed. All right.
Please don't be a 1. Please don't be a 1.
All right.
Don't be a 1.
Please be a 1.
Ooh, of my mighty deed is a 4.
Oh,
And I rolled a 17.
Oh, fantastic.
Wowza.
Yeah, that succeeds brilliantly. In fact, you like practically cut this blob in half, like right over the top of Carol's head. And like the blob like kind of immediately releases her and like crashes out the window like the other one did.
All right.
And she lies there on the floor like catching her breath for a few minutes. What was that?
Roger.
Well, it was a somewhat comfortable mattress at first. I think actually what it really was an attempt to kill us, and we're all going to get together our gear and have a little word with the landlord as soon as my companions get themselves off the floor.
yeah, I should have thought better of trying to make a mattress sleep. That one's on me.
But at least you're well rested.
Indeed. I feel great for having just been attempted to be killed. And he packs up all his stuff and gets ready.
Yeah, normally after a fight I feel all hot and sweaty and tired, but this is great.
Yeah.
So you gather up all your stuff and march downstairs with Carol behind you. And it does not seem, you do not see the dwarf behind the bar anywhere. Like the candles have all been blown out. The fire is just died down to a little ember.
All right.
I will attempt to restoke the fire.
Okay. You can
For Carol's benefit.
do that. It takes some time to get it going again, but so there is the front door you came into, the 4 doors upstairs, and there's another door behind the bar.
So wait, we occupied 2 of the rooms. Carol occupied
one, and as far as you know, the other one is empty.
All right.
There's been yelling and broken glass and doors so far. I think maybe the innkeep isn't here anymore.
I would suspect after a murder attempt he wouldn't be, but let's find out just to make sure.
Yeah, somebody should check that other room.
And then we're going to give him a Yelp review. He will not forget if he is killed.
He will not.
He'll
He
be
will not
yelping for
easily
sure.
recover from our Yelp review.
So let's. I open the door.
The other
downstairs
the one behind the bar. Okay.
with-
The door behind the bar leads to a small kitchen. And it's full of plenty of dried meats, fresh cheeses, bread, and barrels of dwarven ale. One side of the kitchen is lined with cupboards that have, mugs and plates and bowls. And next to the door that you open up, there is another barrel stamped with dwarven runes in white.
Braggart, could you come here for a moment?
I'm coming. On my way over there, is there any smell of gold or other coins?
No, there is no smell of gold or coins. But,
Some places, if you have an unpleasant stay, they give you your money back. I guess this isn't one of them.
I suspect we'll make sure to get our refund.
And
One
as
way
you,
or
cross,
another.
as you cross the room, Frankie is filling every pocket possible with, bread and meat and cheeses, and he's just
No,
okay.
you're right. You're right.
Well, Braggart, as you go into the kitchen and look at the dwarven runes on this barrel, you see they translate into common and to say it's good for you. And then Frankie, while you're kind of loading up your pockets and stuff, you notice that behind the ale barrels make kind of a small impromptu wall, and behind that there is a small cot that is empty. Possibly where the innkeeper normally sleeps.
I will gently poke the cot to make sure that it's not going to attack anybody.
The cot actually just rips a little bit when you poke it. It is that threadbare.
Huh.
And you notice though that there is a trap door beneath it.
Ooh,
Ooh,
hey, guys, I
Yeah?
think I know where the innkeeper is.
good. Where is he?
Do we want to check what's in this barrel first? Because Carol was referring to barrels being brought and some of them here. So that's ale, I assume. And so
hope so.
why don't we open this one up to see what it is?
Sure.
You open it up, and you can tell that it's already been opened before, because it just, like, the top just kind of easily comes right off. And it seems to be mostly empty, except down at the bottom you can see there's still a few little remnants of just white goo. And it smells very sweet.
Is it,
Elven ale.
was that a similar smell? Did the
Yeah. Actually, the mattress smelled a lot like this. It was very kind of a almost sickeningly sweet, like marshmallowy smell.
Well, we put that back. I think we know now what they're pulling out of the mine.
Sweet bedding?
Mattresses
ale.
coming
I
from the
don't
mine.
think it actually is a race of mattresses. I think it's some sort of thing that can assume other shapes.
Oh, and yeah, Frankie, there's another cupboard that you haven't opened yet, as you're still filling your pockets, and you open it up, and what you at first you think it's blankets just kind of fall out of it onto the floor, but you quickly realize that it is skin. Just like there's looks like 3 dwarves probably, whose insides have been completely taken out and their skin just flopped here on the floor in front of you.
I am unsuccessfully trying to shove it back into the cupboard like nothing happened.
And Spachemin is at that moment entering the kitchen area, having reignited the fire and watching Frankie do this. Like, Frankie doesn't know Spachemin is there. He's like madly stuffing this back in, and Oh, hello.
Frankie, would you like to share with the whole class what you found?
Found the innkeeper, have you?
I don't know. Have I?
No. The innkeeper had a very short, cropped beard. These dwarves all have like more typical longer beards.
Hmm.
And it's
So-
like their entire skin. There's no cut or anything.
Yeah,
in
as
it.
far.
It's-
I mean, how closely are you going to examine them?
Well, if we're searching through it enough to figure out if one of these is the innkeeper, I'm guessing we have a fairly good, fairly thorough
Okay,
view
yeah,
of
it
what's
does.
going on.
It does not look like there are any cuts or punctures or anything else like that. So
Ugh.
Hmm.
Love adventuring.
Braggart, you don't know any of them, do you?
No.
Okay. I found them this way.
That is,
So,
that is not dwarven armor.
I think that will be really effective. You might want to consider it next time.
Please don't give him any ideas.
Make good gloves, though.
Just cut him at the wrist, right? I mean, you've got 3 pairs of gloves right there.
Is Carol
Four fingers already.
is Carol in the other room still?
no, she has kind of followed you all into the kitchen now.
And what's her reaction?
She seems horrified,
Okay.
like you would expect. Not like running, screaming, horrified, but kind of paralyzed, mouth agape, horrified.
Yes.
Well, these
Alright.
costumes, there's no point to these costumes being investigated, and I'll try to play it off, just to get her to like not be as freaked out.
Why don't you put those back where you found them?
All right, you put the skins back in the cupboard.
So, Carol, we have discovered a trapdoor to the bottom of this inn, and I gotta ask, I mean, were you this is where you were staying as all this unfolded? Did the landlord ever seem strange, or does it seem anything else you can give us about your stay here?
Well, I only just arrived a day ago myself, but no, Dixon, the landlord, seemed very friendly, chatty even at times.
Was there anybody in that last room that no one was occupying when we came?
Not that I'm aware of.
All right, do we want to check, gentlemen, that room real quickly before we proceed?
Yeah, I'll go back up and check the room.
Okay, that room does appear to be empty, although the window is broken
And the mattress.
and the
missing?
mattress is missing. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
That checks
Well,
out.
You know, Carol, a long time ago, all of us started off on different little paths, and by all sorts of strange twists of fate, we wound up on an adventure. I think at this point, your options are to stay with us, which could be completely dangerous, or to try to make your way back to wherever it is you came, which also might be dangerous, but you should probably know your options. Or if you prefer, you can stay in the inn. I would suggest trying to barricade it yourself inside as best you can. There are food provisions here, and we'll come back as best fast as we can. I do guarantee that if you're here, we will take you with us back to the Duke's kingdom.
Are you going into the mine?
I don't know. We're going to check out this trapdoor, and I've got a sneaking suspicion it's going to hook up.
Well, let's do that then.
All right. Everybody is agreed, or does anybody have a better plan of action?
Yeah. Does that mean she's staying or that she's going to follow with us?
Oh, she is intent on going with you.
Okay. That's what I thought.
She's like, I'm going to find out what is in that mine, with or without you. I mean, preferably with you, but
Well, then somebody should open that trap door.
Allow me.
Would maybe somebody who could see in the dark? That'd be a great idea.
Sounds like I fit the bill. And Marie will go to open the trap door.
Okay, you open up the trap door. There is a ladder going down into the darkness. Halflings do have infravision, right?
Yeah, 30 feet.
Okay, okay. Yeah, the ladder goes down about 20 feet. So it's quite a ladder. You do not see, from your vantage point at the top, 20 feet up, you cannot really make out much of what is at the bottom. But there's definitely a floor.
Floor about 20 feet down. Anyone mind if I take the first couple of steps?
Do I see anything different with 60 feet of dark
No.
vision?
Nope. All right, so you're getting on the ladder and heading down.
Yeah. This,
Okay.
reminds me of scaling the mast on the ship. So.
All right, so yeah, I mean, climbing is easy for you. You've done this kind of thing 100 billion times before. So you start climbing down the ladder and you get down just a few rungs down, and before you realize that something is very wrong. The ladder seems to be falling backwards. And those of you at the top who are kind of watching this, like you did not notice that there's a place where the ladder actually detaches, and there's like a little hole for a pin or something to go in and keep it in place that has been removed, and the ladder just kind of falls 20 feet backwards with Marive on it.
Oh no.
As you hit the bottom 20 feet below, you only take 4 points of damage from the fall. The nice thing about having climbed so much is that you've also fallen a lot, so you're kind of good at like soaking up the damage by rolling and things.
For sure.
But yeah, and you see at the bottom, as you hit the ground, that the bottom of the ladder is actually hinged, so it's designed to do this. Yeah, and the air down here is very cold and stale, and a chill kind of runs through you.
Well, that's great for you. How do you expect the rest of us to get down there now?
Is the ladder broken?
No, like the ladder is hinged. You can just kind of like, lift it back and put it back.
I'll get you down.
While you're down here, you notice that this room is just kind of roughly carved from the rocky ground. There's several barrels of ale and wine set in racks on the walls. There's a few more barrels like the one in the kitchen that are marked with the white runes.
I think that line was keeping the good stuff down here. All right, hold on. I'm going to hinge the ladder back up.
The ladder comes back up. I'll hold it in place so that everybody
Okay.
else can get down.
All right.
Why don't we just sort of jury rig a pin?
Is there an obvious pin or anything around?
Yeah, you can find something. It's not, necessarily meant to be the pin, but you can find something easily enough to
Put
pin
a
it in place.
spoon in there.
Yeah,
and bend
yeah,
it
a
or
spoon. Yeah,
something.
exactly. So you after a few minutes, you can all make it down into the cellar.
All right.
Yeah, and as I said, there's a lot
Chairman
of.
is climbing down, saying, "I assume there's an exit from here. There's a reason I'm going down here, right, De Coverley?"
Actually, I was just letting you check it out, and because I'm watching our back at the moment.
I
So
see.
how big is the room? Is there any exit?
The room is about 10 feet wide and 20 feet long, so it's fairly large for a cellar, but there are no obvious other exits.
Perhaps if we had a dwarf in the party, he could take a look at the walls.
There were
think that's
three of
you,
them.
braggart.
There were 3 of them in the cupboard upstairs.
Bone Skull, that was your cue.
Right.
You're the dwarf.
Braggart, make an intelligence roll for me.
Perhaps if Franklin dons one of those skins, that he could then have the powers of a dwarf.
You said intelligence?
Yes.
That'd be a 4.
4. Okay. Yeah, you kind of take a quick glance around at the walls. They look great. They're walls. They're not going to fall.
Good. Carved by hand. Good sturdy walls.
Good to know.
Thank you, Bone Skull. Thank you.
What do you think, DeCoverly? Shall we come up now, or do you have other?
If there's nothing else down there, let's come up. We'll check out the mines from the front.
Are there other strings you would like us to dance upon for your pleasure?
I mean, while we have a number of us down here, Marv goes over to one of the barrels. Does it too look like it has been opened previously, or might it have something?
No,
inside?
this one looks like it has not yet been opened recently. In fact, even you give it a little shake, and it is definitely full. Like it's heavy. It's heavy.
We have some rogue mattresses, I would guess, in these barrels. Do we want to do anything with them?
Let's not open it.
Perhaps we should burn them.
Great idea. Take some oil,
Wait,
some
wait,
lantern oil, and
I'm climbing
flame
out
it.
of there.
a moment.
Too late. Already done.
Yeah, he's
You're still
he's-
in the
He's
hole.
spraying oil around.
You.
The ladder is right here. We can
This is-
easily escape.
Dwarf stuff.
Thinking it's the only building that we can go, and it's snowing.
Chimneys. Go.
All right.
We could all just sleep in the main room and wait until morning, says Carol.
Carol, I like you.
Hey, Carol, did you get a chance to smell the thing that was holding you? earlier?
Yeah, I didn't have a whole lot of choice. It smelled kind of good, actually. I wonder if it would be good in cookies.
Hey,
I know,
Bone Skull, if you
understand.
haven't lit fire to the place now, it's all prepped to burn, correct?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right, why don't we not burn it just at this exact moment, but we have the option because you've set it all up. Good thinking. You can burn it later.
I'm fine with that.
Great.
Marie grabs did you say there were bottles of ale?
Yeah, there's bottles of wine, kegs of ale.
Yeah.
Wait,
Marie will grab a bottle
are
of
they
wine.
any good?
I mean,
We have to find out. Let me bring it up.
They don't look like the best stuff ever, but they look decent.
If there's a good Bordeaux, please bring one up.
So are you gonna just camp out in the main room until morning? Is that
So
what's
Yeah.
going on? Okay.
With the fire.
Can we lock the trapdoor, or is it there's
You
no-
can put something
put
heavy
a
on
barrel
it.
on it or something.
Yeah, move a barrel on it or something. Yeah.
I'm gonna make
Oh.
sure there are
3
no.
dwarves.
I'm gonna make
Yeah.
sure there are no mattresses, pillows, marshmallows, anything mallow or
I don't.
fluff.
There's kind of a comfy looking sofa in the main
I-
room by the fire.
Is there a comfy chair?
No, just a sofa and some uncomfy chairs.
Braggart, help me push this sofa out into the snow.
All right, you push the sofa out in the snow, and basically the rest of the night passes uneventfully. You get some decent sleep, and you recover your sleep spell that you lost for the day if you study your spell book a little bit. Morning comes, the sun comes up. The snow, there's still like a few flakes falling from the sky. Looks like you're going to be trudging through about a foot of snow up to the mine, but
That's like my whole body.
No, I guess-
you're gonna have to go uphill in the snow to get to the mine.
Well, I
Both
assume
of
we
you.
have a hearty breakfast, and I sit there realizing, you know what? No matter how I spin this, I cannot make a ballad of fighting killer mattresses. It just is going to sound like a drunken drinking. Oh,
Oh, there you go.
The thought.
There's significantly less food in the kitchen when you wake up in the morning. Just saying.
and you look really insulated in your really puffy jacket.
No, it's mostly gone.
High metabolism.
All right. So after a hearty breakfast, you go back out into the village and make your way towards the mine up the hills. You get up kind of to the top of the hill. There's what is obviously the entrance to the mine. Not far away, there's a large building that looks like it's probably some kind of stables. And in fact, as you're kind of standing here, looking at the entrance of the mine and the stables, and you kind of look down and get a nice vista of the snow-swept hills, and it looks very beautiful. You suddenly hear like a thunk come from inside the mine. And it sounds like the creaking wheels of a wagon.
Is there
Should
anywhere we can hide and observe, or are we just out in the open?
Yeah, there's lots of like rubble and you know, if worst case scenario, you can just like you know, flop down in the snow and cover yourself up. So yeah, you can.
Let's go hide and observe for a minute.
just what I was
Is
thinking.
there any place along the way that looks like a mercantile store?
Yeah, there's a small place that you pass on the way that looks like it might have been a general store of some kind.
So while DeCoverly's hiding in the snow to watch some stuff, I'm gonna go stock up.
Okay. What are you looking for? Anything in particular?
Rope.
Make a luck check.
That is a 6 versus a 12.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, there's a good 30-foot length of rope.
Sweet. What about a pole?
Make a luck check.
That is a 12 versus a 12.
All right, it's kind of flimsy, but you find one.
Sweet.
All right, so the rest of you kind of crouch down behind some rocks and observe. And
Elves do not crouch.
They lay
Right.
prone.
I'm standing behind a pine tree, sort of barely standing behind it.
right.
This idea of hiding is distasteful, but I will comply to the best of my ability.
You see, coming out of the mine, there are two dwarves pushing a cart. And like the first thing you notice is that these dwarves are not dressed for cold weather at all. Like they're just wearing flimsy tunics and boots with holes in them. But the cold does not seem to bother them at all as they push this cart towards the stable.
Is there
and-
anything? I mean, we've hung out with Bone Skull, and we've watched, seen how a dwarf moves, how they just stand. I would like to make a real. I'm thinking spot hidden, but I'm watching them. Do they move like dwarves? Do they move like a regular?
You know now that you mention it, no, they are not moving like normal dwarves. They're kind of
They smell like normal dwarves.
like, well, you can't really smell them from here, but
I will get closer.
you're in the general shop finding rope. But yeah, they do not move like normal dwarves. Like they're kind of like just shuffle their feet along, kind of hunched over as they push this cart. But they're also like they're not quite zombies either, like because they do have like little random movements that people have, like they turn their head to look at noises or each other once in a while or things like that. So it is hard to say what's going on, but they're definitely not moving normally.
Where is they're pushing a cart? Where are
They push the cart as you watch. They push the cart over to the stable, and one of them kind of like hunched shuffles over to the door of the stable and knocks on it a few times, and after a few seconds the door opens, and the two dwarves like shuffle and push the cart into the stable, and the door closes behind them.
And we couldn't see from where we are who opened the door, if there's
No.
anything inside.
No, you could not see.
Okay.
But Braggart gets back with his rope and pole.
Hey, we found some of the miners. They took some barrels into the stable over there.
Yeah,
I got a rope and
Nice.
a pole.
Nice.
Good job to find something Spachemin can hide behind.
so
I'll hold the
Bones
pole
Girl,
up in front of him.
He vanishes.
So these dwarves, there's something very off about them. They don't move like your people. They're sort of shuffling oddly, and they went into the stable and knocked, entered, the door shut, and they're still there. I'm wondering if we can sneak all of us or some of us near there and maybe glance inside.
Wouldn't you say they were merely exhausted?
Oh.
They didn't seem to be moving unnaturally, just that they were worn down, maybe even defeated. But
we
did get a pretty good night's rest, so
That's true. And
No,
but we
they-
did find dwarven skins in the inn.
They definitely seemed a little more than just exhausted. Like,
I'm going to put Spokane 2 and 2 together here. Go with this, where we find dwarven skin suits.
4.
Very, very good, Bone Skull. And we have blobs, and I'm going to put the 2 and 2 together and think that perhaps the blobs might be using the skin suit, or at least somebody behind the blobs.
That'd be my guess too.
Harold says, well, that's creepy.
that seems unnecessary.
Does Carol really think that it's creepy? Is there some way to like gauge her reaction?
There's not really a it's your background is a mariner, so you're not necessarily skilled
No,
in
not
so
particularly.
roll a d10 instead of a d20,
Love it.
and add or subtract your intelligence modifier.
Oh, clever. Let's see. Heck yeah, that's a 10 total.
As far as you can tell, yeah, she genuinely seems kind of creeped out by that idea.
What if I went back and I put one of those dwarven costumes on, and then I went and knocked on the door? It probably fits me.
I don't think he described them having a slit or anything.
Yeah, what if
Well, I've got a
just-
sword for that.
What if you just went to the door? I mean,
Because you're
maybe be confused by your armor. Perhaps you would be better off removing it, but we could even tear up your clothing a little bit.
You know, we don't actually all look the same, Spachemin. That's actually kind of racist.
I beg to differ. You all look the same. Short people with beards. I mean, what can I say?
Watch yourself, Spachemin. Dangerously close to halfling territory.
Listen, Frankie.
Watch your knees, Spachemin. Watch your knees.
Spachemin, we really don't require heightism in a group, and especially when there are only 2 of us that are above. Oh, no.
I'm not against
So
the
is, there,
plan.
so is there any way to peek into the stable? I mean, are all the windows boarded up, or
Like the only real window is kind of up above the main door, like in a barn. So yeah, there's not really any windows at ground level, but it's not a terribly, snug, well constructed building. So you might, if you creep around it or something, you might be able to find a hole or a crack or something. That,
so I have something called my cool cloak is the Cloak of Whispers. Move silent at +3 to the roll.
well, fantastic.
So why don't I suggest, because I probably have this thing, like, why don't I walk over to the wall, take a little peek, and I'll walk back? Sound good?
I'll hand him my
Yeah.
mirror.
Okay. Bone Skull, please don't burn anything down in the meantime. I walk over.
All right, make a sneak stealthy roll.
Is that the agility?
Yeah, it would be D20 plus your agility plus your cloak modifier.
Okay, 14 plus
Wow.
cloak is 3.
And technically you should probably subtract your armor modifier, but we'll say that's part of the magic of the cloak, is it cancels out the armor modifier for sneaking too. So what did you get total?
Was it 14 or 15 plus the
I think you
3?
said
okay.
17 total.
Oh,
Okay.
17.
Yes, you creep quietly across the snow, like you leave footprints, but you don't even hear like the snow crunch as you sneak up to the building, and you kind of like look around. You can barely see through this crack, and what you see is the dwarves. There's a total of probably, somewhere 3 to 6 dwarves. It's hard to tell just looking through a crack. Unloading barrels from the cart that just arrived. And then as you're just about to be like, oh, that's all they're doing, you catch a glimpse of a human who is wearing a yellow robe. And he kind of like points over there, and the dwarves take one of the barrels and put it where he pointed.
And so a human being in a yellow robe, male,
Right.
female.
Hard to tell. Probably male based on the size, but you don't know for sure.
All right. I try to silently return and inform my companions of what I see.
Okay,
Roll again.
make another silent roll. Yes,
While he's on his way back.
12.
12. Okay, you're not as silent. You're not as silent as last time, but you think
Well,
you're
but
quiet
plus
enough.
3, so it's 15.
Okay.
15.
Yeah. So yes, you get back. You tell them what you saw.
While he was gone, I look over at Bone Skull. Braggart, I really respect your intelligence, and I want you to know that I'm never going to challenge you as the brains of this group. So I just want you to know you're safe with me.
That's good. I got a question for you. How do you spell Roger?
I think it starts with a Z.
All right, good. I thought for a size he tried to carve, and I didn't think there was a Z in Roger, but
I didn't either. Who knew?
right.
Silent C.
Must be silent.
Yeah.
Silent C.
So if we're going to get the Duke's shipments back on order, we're on track. We're probably going to have to deal with that yellow rogue guy. Yeah.
Yeah. Roger, did you know him?
No, actually, all humans don't know each other.
Oh,
Oh,
are you sure?
Well, we'd have to go and chat with him, but I think our options at this point are we can go investigate the mine, or we can check out and frontally approach or try to sneak in. I don't know. There's only the one entrance, but we could come in through the opening or just knock on the door.
How many people were in there?
at least 7, including the robed person, but my viewpoint was small. So we can assume, let's say worst case scenario, there are a total of 8 of them.
So seven dwarves and 1 human figure.
I saw between 3 and 6. It was very hard to tell, and 1 person, but
Wait, and
I
I'm
was-
the one who's bad at math?
I was just going on the way that our party, we've been together, gents, for many years, and the way our luck goes, I think adding a couple extra evil dwarves is a good idea. So I would realistically, we got about at worst 7, but let's plan on 8.
So
If
5.
they're- My thinking
Or-
is if they're doing a delivery right now, then there's a chance that the human in the yellow robes disappears if we head into the mine. So if we want to intercept them, we should probably do it now.
Yeah, if we went into the mine, they then may be entering the mine behind us, and that would be a poor methodology on our parts.
All right, then we have decided on the frontal approach.
Roll frontal.
You mean attack them? Carol says.
I mean confront them.
With some of us in hiding, but to start, probably, or at least around.
All right, sounds good. I'm in.
A sound strategy.
All right, who's up with me to say hello? How about the elf with the large sword?
The who? Me?
No, it's because of your height. You're so
Very
intimidating,
well.
and we have to have you up in the front.
Very well, very well. As we walk over, I will attempt to cast Ekam's mystical mask, and I am rolling percentile dice with that because of my mercurial magic effect. So we'll see
Okay.
what happens with that.
So I apologize. I didn't catch. Did the door open out or open in?
The door opened in. So while the 2 of them are approaching the barn directly, what are the other 3 of you doing?
Such a great reaction from the dice roller.
Yeah, yeah. There's a whole lot of nothing happening.
I
Yeah.
smelled the throw up in your mouth from here.
Yeah, Lone Skull, we could use you probably in the front too.
I was
Yeah,
enjoying
no,
the
I'm going to
emotion-
the back.
I was enjoying the emotional journey of that dice roll.
Yeah.
Before
Bone
before you tell us the results of that dice roll, I want to hear what everyone else is doing.
Is there a back door?
No.
No. So one way in, one way out.
Right. I mean, the walls, it's just made of wood, and it doesn't even look like it's that firm a wood. Like you could probably chop your way or bash your way through a wall, but it's not a guarantee, and it might take a little time.
why
Marnie
I
will
suggested-
crouch by the side of one of the doors, ready in case a fight breaks out,
Okay.
but with vision obscured from the inside.
Right. Gotcha.
I will get 10 feet away from the door, and then when it opens, I will charge in, shield in front of me, sword overhead, and confront.
Okay, Frankie, what's your plan?
I will quickly commiserate with Braggart about how hard it is to be management, and then we'll sneak around the side. I want to be the opposite side, hidden with both weapons out and ready.
Like just to the side of the door? Like,
Ideally
okay.
around the corner of the building.
Okay. Oh, gotcha. All right. I understand. And then Carol just kind of she follows the 2 tall people, just merrily walks along with the 2 of you. So how did your spell casting go?
Well, I got a whopping 9, and I was debating for a moment if I wanted to burn any luck on that, but I think not.
Okay.
And coincidentally, no demon prince from hell appeared. So
Well, that's a sad story, but
yeah, that is, unfortunately no complications here. But
Carol
I did
Carol
lose the
Carol
spell.
offers you a cookie in condolence. All
I
right,
will
so
thank her and I will make to pocket it, but just throw it in the snow.
so Roger and Spachemin and Carol are up at the door, about to knock. Marive is next to the door, out of sight. Frankie is on the opposite side of the door and around the corner, and Braggart is behind the three who are approaching the door, ready to rush into action. Right? Okay. So, Roger, you knock on the door or just barge in? What do you? Okay. You knock in. You knock, and you from inside you hear like, "What? We're not expecting another load yet. Somebody go open the door. See who's there." And after a couple minutes, the door swings open, and there's a dwarf standing there, and just kind of stares at you.
So is the door open all the way or just partially?
Just like it's a double door kind of thing, and one of the doors opens all the way as he pulls it open.
Ah, well then I just sort of kick the whole thing forward.
Okay, you kick the door, and the dwarf stumbles backwards, and I think at that point everyone should roll initiative.
Ooh. If only that were my spell check.
This is on the D20 again, correct?
Yes.
I am an 11.
An 11. All right, Braggart, what'd you get?
6.
6. Spachemin.
A 20.
Ooh. Marive.
6.
6. And Frankie.
3.
3. All right. Well, Spachemin, you are first to react as Roger pushes this dwarf in, and as that happens, like the dwarf kind of like makes aggressive. You hear shouts from the probably the human, and the other dwarves are starting to look in your direction and be aggressive. What do you want to do?
So I will can I like slip in past the dwarf with my superior initiative and just
Yes,
get in the doorway
absolutely. Yes.
and be inside there. And take a few steps forward, and basically if anybody moves forward against us, or if there's anybody there with this dwarf, I'm going to try to run them through these weirdly moving disheveled dwarves.
Okay.
Is there anyone there? Or is it just the one at the door?
You push your way into the room, and you see there's a total of 5 dwarves and 1 human in yellow robes.
But the human, maybe I have it wrong. Is the human near enough to lunge for them, or?
No, not quite.
Okay.
Basically everyone who except for the dwarf who opened the door is too far away to attack this turn.
All right. Well, I will simply move into the room, and I will point my sword accusingly at the fellow in the robes. You have much to answer for, sir. And if there's nobody in range, there's nobody in range.
Okay.
Roger can deal with this dwarf at the door. He's used to dealing with.
Okay, so you're basically rushing into the room, and you're going to get yourself in range, even though you can't necessarily chop them in half this round. Okay.
Right.
Okay, sounds good. And as it happens, they are all going on 17, so they're next. The dwarf that opened the door, just kind of completely ignores Spachemin running past him and lunges at Roger. Yes, and just with both hands, just like grabs the front of Roger's shirt, even tearing it a little bit, and just like, let's see, heaves like and this white goop like spews out of its mouth all over Roger's face and chest. So let's see here. Make a reflex save.
Hold on.
Roger is still like at the door, so those who
Yeah.
are waiting outside can see this, right?
Yes. Yeah. Well, yeah.
I'm looking
And
for-
Frankie can't necessarily see what's going on, but he definitely hears what's going on.
Where- So where is this? A reflex?
Next to
it-
your agility.
right next to your agility. So
Oh,
roll a
so
roll a d20 and use whatever modifier is in that circle.
The modifiers 15.
Okay. So yeah, this stuff just goops all over your face. But you're able to like avoid some of it and just quickly wipe the rest of it out of your eyes and off your face before you like, get any of it inside you.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, there's 4 dwarves and a yellow-robed human inside with Spachemin. So the 4 dwarves just kind of all drop what they're doing. Like 2 of them are even in mid carrying a barrel and just drop it, and they all lunge at you. Ooh, and I'm gonna need you to make 3 different reflex saves for me as they all just
3?
like come at you, puking stuff all over you.
3 reflex saves. That is a 9.
Okay.
That is a natural 20, so a 21.
Okay.
And another natural 20.
Hey.
Okay, as you nimbly just avoid 2 of these spews, like they don't even touch you. Like you did not notice the 3rd one there right next to you, who basically like grabs your lower jaw and pukes it right into your mouth.
Ah!
Wait. He reaches up because he's 6.
Yeah, like he kind of reaches up and like bleh.
Ew.
And oddly enough, it tastes delicious.
Still disgusting.
This is so good, and I hate it.
Not
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
In fact, it kind of leaves you craving more.
If I had to name this, I would call it Slurm.
Gotta have it.
And
Also trademarked.
It's we have an
The-
elven word for this phenomenon of hating something that tastes good.
It's
the,
okay
the,
because
the yellow-robed cultist actually draws a short sword out from under his robe and kind of takes a half-hearted swing at you, missing utterly. It just like doesn't even come close. And then it is Roger's turn.
So I've got a dwarf that tried to vomit at me right in front of me.
Yes.
I've got Spolchemin, who's got 3 of the dwarves surrounding him.
4 actually. 1 just completely missed with his vomit. So
Okay, and then there's the yellow robe guy.
who took a half-hearted swing at Spachemin. He looks like he doesn't really want to be here right now.
How far away am I from the yellow robed guy?
You can get in there like to him. Basically what Spachemin did last round, you can get in there to him, but you can't necessarily do anything to him this round.
Would I be far enough? What I'm trying to figure out is, because I want to run up and threaten this guy to call off the goons. So that's what I'm trying to figure out. But I don't want to run into the middle of the room if I'm just going to get jumped by everybody. I want to close the distance between me and the
It worked out fine for me. I don't know what you're worried about.
Right. So yeah, I mean, if you just want to threaten him, like you can yell at him from here.
No, right. So I close the distance, you
Right.
know, rapier and dagger out and get right in as close to him.
Okay.
Call them off
Like-
or call them off or die.
Or make a personality roll for me there.
All right. Personality roll. Oh, I get +1 for that one. I have a 14 with that's including my modifier.
Okay. So you get right up in his face with your rapier and dagger, and you're like, call them off. And he just like immediately like crumples to his knees on the floor, dropping his sword and going, I don't control them. I just give Skyga. So next then is Braggart.
So I'm gonna run charging in, and in Dwarven, I'm gonna yell, "It's good for you!" And I'm going to attack with my sword, and then try to, with my shield bash, drive the dwarf that is in the doorway backwards.
All right.
Oh, that's
I
Uh-oh.
can't read
Can't
it.
see it. It's
Can't read it.
blurred.
Yeah, the blur.
double
blurs it.
fumble.
Double.
Uh-oh.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Let's
That's
get ready
that's
to
impressive.
fumble.
So
Yeah, and that
what
was
did-
a 3 on damage, a 7 on damage, and a 4 on my mighty deed die. So
man, that's a sad
you know,
story.
five more minutes, and I'll just pull my tunic up over.
Well, roll. What did we decide your fumble die was? A D8.
D8.
Yeah,
Yeah.
roll 2D8 then.
So the first one is a 4, and the second one is a 3.
All right, so a 4 is your weapon is damaged. Weapon can be repaired with 10 minutes of work, but is useless for now. 3, your weapon comes loose in your hand. You quickly grab it, but your grip is disrupted. Take a -2 penalty on your next attack roll. Well, if the weapon's useless,
Well, he's got 2 weapons. So
he's
one
got
is
2.
a shield,
Well,
his shield.
true.
So like the rivet holding the strap on your shield breaks, and your shield falls off and is useless until you can fix it, and you kind of lose your grip up a little bit on your other weapon. Brilliant. Marie, your turn.
Okay, I reposition a little bit to get an eye on what's going on. There's the far too many dwarves or dwarf-looking creatures, and raise up one hand and ask them to taste the rainbow, and I will cast color spray at them.
Okay.
Let's go ahead, and that is, oh yeah,
You like that noise?
that is a 21 total.
21. Up
Fantastic.
to 3 targets within range can be targeted. The range is 40 feet. So who's within 40 feet?
Pretty much everybody's within 40 feet. So choose your 3 targets.
All right.
Let's say 3. Well, there's one closest to me, so definitely that one,
Right.
and then 2 of the
Okay.
ones that are on
Okay.
yes, Space
Sounds
Man.
good. Sounds good.
Okay. So each target of 2 or less hit die is automatically affected. Targets of more than 2 hit dice must make 2 will saves or be affected.
So hold on. It was of 2 or less are automatically affected.
If they have a hit dice of 2 or less, they are automatically
Okay.
affected.
They're automatically affected then.
All right. So they are blinded and knocked unconscious for 2d4 plus 1 rounds each.
Fantastic.
Although sightless creatures are immune.
No, they still have to see, I think.
Okay. All right. So basically they're knocked out for 2d4 plus 1 rounds and could
2d4
potentially
plus
be
1.
blinded when they even regain consciousness.
Okay. All right. So the one at the door and 2 of the other ones just kind of go flop to the ground.
Careful, lads, they're asleep, but not sure for how long.
And then it is Frankie's turn.
I will pop out from around the corner, axe in one hand, dagger in the other, look around, eye the dropped cookie in the snow, look at the passed out dwarf thing with marshmallow vomit all over the place, and kind of grumble, You think someone would have thought about that and warned us about that? Can I get to the other standing dwarf guy, or is that too
Yeah,
far?
you can get to him this turn, but you can't do much to him.
Then I'll just move to the entrance
Okay.
and stand guard.
All right. Fantastic. Spachemin, back around to you.
If that, let's see, the guy in the robes came off as kind of feeble.
Like he is literally on the ground cowering before Roger.
Right. So I think I will attack. Maybe it's the creature that grabbed my mouth and
Okay.
yeah. I will attempt to run him through. Whoops! There goes the die.
Good. I'm not the only one who's fumbling them.
Oh, but that is a good roll. I got a 19 on that.
Oh, yeah, that hits.
Damage. Let's see if damage will follow through. Damage comes up as 8.
That's 8. Okay. You with your huge sword, like hack into it, and you basically cut this dwarf in half right at the waist, and you see that this like white goo just kind of spills out of it, and it is indeed seems to be just a dwarven skin suit being worn by white goo. And Carol looks very creeped out now.
And David, I just have to ask, you're not eating marshmallow fluff right now, are you?
Absolutely.
How appropriate.
So we have currently there's one dwarf standing, 3 that are temporarily out. and one-
Basically the fight is now down to one dwarf who what happens is you see this like the dwarven skin suit just kind of starts to bulge a bit in weird places, and it just like this white glob comes out of its mouth, like it just bleh, 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 on the ground, and you kind of see as this continues to happen, the skin just kind of deflates, and this white blob just kind of starts like oozing towards the door, trying to escape. Roger, it's your turn.
Is that blob within? Because I've got the guy in the robe. Is it within my reach of my sword, or is it out of my
Yeah,
range?
no, it's in. If you take a couple steps, you can get. Yeah.
I say, kill the others, and I swing my sword and do a mighty deed.
All right. What do you get?
I
What's
rolled the die rolls 11, and that's and then it's a mighty deed.
What are you attempting to accomplish with your mighty deed exactly?
I'm saying, let me tell you a story, and I sweep it for a cut across the thing's head.
Okay. Well, it doesn't really have a head.
No, I mean
it's a blob, but
the top part. And my mighty deed roll is a 1. My roll was an 11, and I don't know if I get any pluses for fighting.
no, it should just be your strength and your D4 or your bonuses.
Yeah.
Oh,
Next to your weapon is everything you're going to roll and add together. So
okay, so yeah, I rolled an 11, but
Well,
it was moving toward the door away from me.
An 11 is still good enough to hit it, though.
All right, so
These
I get.
things are not difficult to hit.
Do I still add in my mighty deed 1?
Yeah, you still add the 1 to damage. You just do not necessarily accomplish your mighty deed.
2, so 3 damage.
3 damage. Okay, well, you kind of nicked it with your sword. And let's see. The next is Braggart.
Braggart is going to, as he fumbles the sword forward, is going to grab it by the pointy end and swing the hilt at the thing in front of him, and attempt to knock it.
And don't forget you're at a -2.
-2.
Yeah.
That is a let's see, math this up. That's a 12 on the die plus 4.
That
Is-
hits.
Okay, the 4 was the mighty deed, so that would be to knock it prone, and then the damage is 10 points of damage.
Okay, well, it doesn't really have a prone since it got out of its skin suit, but that's enough damage to actually, like, you just kind of splatter it all over the ground. And
Okay. Then as the
Um,
mighty deed, then instead of knocking it prone, I'd like for the force of the sword hilt to be able to just swing around, and I'll catch it by the handle again so that it looks awesome.
it looks amazing. Like that was
Perfect.
fantastic. So yes, all the dwarves are unconscious or otherwise slain. The yellow robed cultist is still kind of cowering in front of Roger, and Spachemin. I'm gonna need you to make me a let's see here. Just give me a second.
Will save?
Make a willpower save. Yes.
If I had to guess, I would say a will save is coming up. Oh yeah, that's a 6. That makes it right.
A 6. Yeah, totally. No, it doesn't. You just like you see the white leftovers of the vomit and the slain blob, and like it just looks so delicious. You just start like scooping it into your mouth. And just after like a minute or so of that, you're like, that was delicious.
I hate myself.
And Carol comes over to you and she's like, do you think it would be good in cookies?
I think it's much better than any cookie could possibly be.
What?
Try it. It's fantastic.
I walk over to Spachemin and slap him upside the face.
Meanwhile, Carol
Hey.
is sticking her finger in it and is about to
Yeah.
lick.
No! And I'm
What was that for?
And Braggart's got
Yeah.
a fistful. He's like,
No,
oh,
Braggart,
it's good.
No.
Chemin. Let's put 2 and 2 together.
4.
Skin
Four. I know this.
Nailed it.
Four fingers.
All right.
woven skin suits with blobs. I'm sure the dwarves thought it was tasty too. Do you want, with your vaulted intellect and ageless immortality and all of that, to be a skin suit full of marshmallow fluff?
You heard me say I hate myself, right?
That's normal, isn't it?
Stop eating it.
Well, this is extra. I mean, normally you don't even have to say it. This is like on top of that.
Kill
It's an
the
elf thing.
prone blobs, everybody, before they wake up.
Make intelligence rolls for me.
Who's that? Me?
Everybody,
Everybody.
Was that intelligence?
and just let me know if you get higher than a 10.
Braggart and I
Natural
got this.
20. Natural 20.
Man, can I just choose to fail these from now on?
Sure, I'm okay with
Seven.
you choosing to fail.
Oop.
7.
Higher than 10.
Okay. Well, if you got higher than 10, Spachemin, like as Roger is berating you, you notice the cultist is trying to like quietly crawl away.
Somebody should step on him.
And if you move one more step, I'm skewering you to the ground like a bug.
He stops instantly. Sorry.
So guys, I'm like, kill the blobs, use the big sword.
Oh,
I could
you
try
mean
it.
the unconscious figures here?
These tasty,
Yeah.
tasty, unconscious figures.
They're
We have-
delicious.
No.
So, gentlemen, we have about an hour left to play tonight. Do you want to take a quick bio break, or do you just want to roll on through?
How about a 5-minute break would be great.
All right,
Sure.
we will take a 5-minute break, and then we will be back to see what happens next. And we're back. That was a great break. I had a great time. Where were we? Yes, you finished killing off the dwarves. You have prevented the cultist from escaping. What next?
We're going to have a little chat with the cultist, and I bring him up to his feet. I have got my dagger in my hand, and I'm looking at him going, allow me to tell you a small story. It's about a handsome young
He
minstrel
starts crying.
who did not want to be in a village filled with people with stuff in them. So you're going to help me go back to my original story where I get to be in a castle where it's warm and there's lovely food and women to woo. And what is going on here? What's happening?
I don't really know, man. I just look, I'm not part of the inner circle. I don't know all the stuff. Okay, I don't know the things. I can't
Well,
tell.
tell
All I
me
know,
about the outer circle.
all I know is that the workers bring the stuff out of the mine, and we keep it here until we put it on the carts and take it out of town. And we're gonna. My job is just to make sure the barrels get loaded properly, and then I'm just in it for the money. Okay.
And where do the barrels go when they leave town?
That's not important right
Other
now. We need
towns.
to know we need to know his shortcut to his bosses.
Shortcut.
And the secret password.
Secret
Yes.
password? Is there a secret password?
And where you keep the money.
Let's back it up and dumb it down. This seems to be more of your speed. Who do you report to?
The higher cultists.
All right, now we're getting. And what is your little? You know what? You're a cult. I'm assuming you've got the lovely yellow robe. What is the cult?
What weird? The cult of commerce.
That tracks. It's a gold robe. I can smell it from here.
All right,
It,
and
it, smell, it
gold
smells.
pants too
It
now.
smells. It smells kind of like urine, actually.
and now holding the dagger, you're going to explain. So the dwarves, they mined in the mine, bringing up iron, and then they found something, didn't they?
They found the stuff.
Indeed. And then the stuff got inside the miners, didn't it?
Yes.
And where do you people come in?
We take the stuff, the barrels of the stuff, and we make it go to other towns where people give us lots of money for it.
I see. By any chance, wouldn't be Duke Stephen's kingdom, would it?
I don't know. I'm not in charge of that.
All right.
I just make sure that the barrels get loaded onto the carts.
And then more people from your cult take them away.
Yes.
And the stuffed miners are the stuffed dwarves.
Most of them are dwarves, yes.
Okay, and who controls them?
Well, the stuff.
And the stuff doesn't control you.
No, I've never tried it.
Right. So if I chop you in half, you're just going to bleed horribly, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, what's your name?
Oh, my. You don't need to know my
Yes, I do.
Jeff.
Jeff, I think you're probably hoping that you survived this whole little incident.
Oh yes.
You
Yeah.
could go on and perhaps not be a cult member. So what's going to happen is you're going to give me in great detail how many of your fellows, the inner circle and all, are in the mine. And are there any more of you outside the mine?
7
Good. Are they all inside the mine or there's some outside?
inside.
They're all inside. Very good, Jeff. Now, are they like you or are they perhaps a little more formidable? That means, are they dangerous?
I know what it means. I suppose some of them might be dangerous, but we're merchants. We're in it for the money.
Okay, so we're good. You're doing very well. Your chances of survival, Jeff, are getting better and better.
Oh, good.
So there's 7 of you, right?
Is that what I said? Yes, 7.
Good. So these other ones, would they be, I don't know, magic users, fighters?
We're merchants.
So So if you were to come in with, they would just be just like you and surrender peacefully.
Maybe
So if you were with us when we go and chat with them, you know,
that,
right there,
that seems like a bad idea for me.
right. That's why I'm just wondering how dangerous they are.
Well, it's not them that I'm worried about. It's they.
They who?
They're just called they.
I take it there's a lot of them inside the mountain?
They, not them, they.
They.
One singular.
We're
Wow.
talking about the white stuff that's inside the
Oh, that's the stuff.
okay. Great. Who are they?
They're the
So we
ones.
got
I don't know.
Dwarves, stuff, they,
Third
Yes,
base.
and
And
cultists.
You've got
Yeah.
it.
The
You've got
perfect
it.
four.
And what are they people?
I don't know.
You've
I don't
never-
know. I'm not even supposed to know about they.
How do you know about they?
Was in a. It doesn't matter. I'm not supposed to know about they.
Uh-huh. Let's do a, you know what? Why don't we do a quick search? Frankie, could you
I
give
lied. There's not 7. I have no idea how many there are.
All right. Frankie, do you want to frisk him to see if he has anything valuable or more informative?
I will make sure he is free of weapons, cookies, food, money, anything else.
I
He's
would
got
recommend you wear gloves when you do that.
I always wear gloves.
he's got a pouch with a few copper pieces in it, but that's all he's got. And the sword that he was using, he's already dropped a long time ago. So
Oh,
So a couple observations. He's a lousy merchant because he's got no money on him. And I look over at Marie under my breath while this is going on. I'm like, Roger's really mean to his family, and it's kind of weird. He didn't even know his own brother's name.
Yeah, that's pretty odd.
He's clean.
Hey, do you think we could convince this guy to give us any more info if we make him taste the stuff?
Mm.
I don't think he's got a vested interest in helping us right now.
I'll leave that up to the boss.
so, gentlemen, did you have a suggestion for helping with Jeff?
We just think that Jeff's been very, very helpful. He might want a reward, something delicious, something good for him, something that puts him in the same camp as one of us.
Carol's a cookie.
I know something delicious that we could reward him with.
Oh,
I don't think that Jeff wants to have the stuff. Do you, Jeff?
Jeff? No, I don't. No.
It's really good.
No, it changes you. It changes you.
Yes.
Well, I
So-
mean, it has
So, he's
changed
the
my
same.
opinion of these mortal foodstuffs.
Okay.
But you should try it. If you've never tried it, you should really try it.
So how is Carol doing with all this?
She's like just kind of watching what's going on. She seems now that the fight is over, she seems very relaxed almost, and she's kind of enjoying this interrogation.
Carol, hold this sword for a second. Would you watch our friend Jeff? If he moves, stab him. But Jeff won't move because he's going to be very helpful and he would like to survive, right,
They
Jeff?
they both nod yes in unison.
Good. Gentlemen, come over here. Let's have a quick powwow so we're not talking where Carol can hear us.
okay, sure.
So, all right. I think that we should tie Jeff up, and I'm not sure about Carol. How do you all feel about we ask her to stay here with Jeff? Do we trust her? Do we not trust her? Do we want her with us? Will she slow us down? A cookie maker in the middle of a fight isn't as advantageous as you might think.
Yeah, worrying about protecting her is an extra worry we don't need.
Have you guys been worrying about that?
Oh,
little.
have you not?
Oh. No.
That's
Oh.
what we like about you, Bone Skull. You're very direct. You're very forward thinking.
Right.
So
I
here's
mean, a cookie maker in a fight is no glove maker in a fight. Let's be honest.
True, true.
that's true.
Glove maker always has
That's
the
an
upper
old
hand.
elven saying.
I'm starting to like you, Spachemin.
So
Have you
my-
tried this goop? It's really
Not
good.
yet,
No.
but
No.
it's definitely has been good for you.
I recommend it. I recommend it
Damn
wholeheartedly.
it, don't make me.
Have you
smack
always had
again.
that complexion, or is that it's kind of coming out?
Here's my suggestion. We have a cookie maker with a sword. I say we tie Jeff up a little bit. I think I think Bone Skull, you've got a little bit of rope. Very good thinking.
No, I'm not using my rope on that.
Fine, we'll rip his clothes off and tie him. We'll tie him up. We give Carol an assignment, which is
We could
pleasant,
we-
not
Wait.
we could close him in a barrel,
with the snake.
Brilliant.
and
Okay,
he's contained, and she can guard him, and it doesn't take any rope.
as long as there's nothing in there with it. So anyway, we're gonna go and we're gonna let Jeff know that we're gonna make a deal that if we come back, we're going to help him go to the nearest town and he can live the rest of his life off. If we don't make it back, Carol's going to kill him. And if we don't make it, so it's in his best interest that we make it back. Does that sound like a good plan?
Yeah.
More or
Does
less,
anyone
yeah.
have a better plan?
It doesn't seem to involve eating any more of this stuff, but it's otherwise a good plan.
All right.
I
Don't
think
eat
there's
any
plenty
more
more stuff
stuff.
inside the mountain. So it should
All
be-
right. Carol, Jeff, we've got a delightful proposition for you where everybody gets to live.
Jeff is excited about
Jeff.
this plan.
We're either going to tie you up or put you in a barrel. So you might want to pick an empty barrel.
We're
and
gonna put you in the barrel. I'm not. This is brand new rope. I'm not gonna waste it on you. You smell kind of like urine.
That's because I pissed myself.
Right.
Okay.
I'm not gonna get that on my rope. It
So,
doesn't come
Jeff-
out of the rope.
So Jeff, you're going to stay here and you're going to be very secured. Carol, you're going to stay here with Jeff's sword. If Jeff behaves himself, you're not going to let him loose, but you are not going to kill him. If he doesn't behave himself, you're going to kill him. If we don't come back, but other people of his cult come back, you're going to kill him. Do you understand the relationship here, Jeff? So any information you can give us now that helps us come back, you get to live.
I told you everything I know, I swear.
Trying to stay off camera so I can see.
All righty. So we are going to now find an empty barrel, I guess, if we can.
Okay.
And we're going to put Jeff in the barrel.
Jeff is in the barrel. He
Good.
gleefully gets in the barrel.
And we have a little, maybe we even like chisel in a little slit with the just sword size. So Carol, if Jeff misbehaves, this is going to be very easy. Insert.
So
let's
so
say-
you don't want me to go in the mine with you? How are you going to survive without cookies?
I asked the same question, Carol. I'd prefer to not worry about you.
Carol, you know what? Sometimes you need somebody there as the anchor person in a party. You need that person that's holding it all together so that if something goes wrong, we know we can come back. If you're here watching him, he's going to make sure that he hasn't lied to us or withheld information because he knows that you're going to insert that sword into the barrel, into his gut. And that's keeping Jeff honest. That's your mission, Carol. You're helping.
I guess that makes sense.
Right. So, by the way, if we come back, do not stab Jeff. We're going to let Jeff
So
live.
so basically the only situation in which I do not stab Jeff is you come back.
Right. Any other yellow robes, Jeff dies. Marshmallow people, Jeff dies. But if we show up, Jeff comes out of the barrel and we all go, and we're going to see about finding you a good spot to set up a cookie shop.
Right. So I'm not to let him leave unless you come back
No. Don't- you stay here.
I'm glad I'm not the only one confused by this plan.
She comes with us, and Jeff is.
In the barrel.
What if Jeff's responsible for stabbing himself?
Yeah. Let's leave the sword with Jeff.
Am I the only one concerned about the level of homicidal responsibility we're placing on the maker?
Yeah, the
Who's gonna
cookie,
voice
the cookie
that?
maker.
Are
You know
you
what?
asking-
This is a great litmus test though, because if we come back and Jeff is dead, then we know that Carol was the bad guy the whole time,
And therefore,
and that'll
Jeff,
set up part 2.
and then Jeff
So-
would have served another useful purpose.
So neither Jeff nor Carol are particularly thrilled with this plan, but they both accept it.
good.
Into the mines.
Move forward.
Okay. Finally, after 2.5 hours of getting into the mines. So you go back out into the snow-swept landscape outside the mine, and the mine entrance itself is fairly large, large enough for a cart to get in and out of easily with room to spare. And a long winding shaft descends steeply into the stone. There's lanterns you can see pegged inside the entrance a little bit, swaying in the breeze that is still cold. And there is a mine cart track that starts at the entrance and runs down following this shaft.
Is there a mine cart?
There is not currently a mine cart here.
Are the torches lit?
They're actual lanterns hanging, and they are lit. Yes.
Cool.
I will take down a lantern.
Okay, that is easy enough.
It will help me find more stuff.
Where did my map go? need
I
the
will
map.
also take down a lantern.
Okay, you each grab a lantern and start making your way down the steep mine shaft. And as you go down just maybe 20 feet or so down this winding pathway, and there's a side passage that branches off kind of to your right, as the main mine shaft seems to still go kind of straight down in front of you, following this cart track.
Can we stop and listen for a moment?
Okay.
Yeah, elves have heightened senses. Maybe I can hear something.
Oh yeah, why don't you go ahead and make an intelligence roll for me,
Do you
Mr. Heightened
want-
Senses?
Do you not to lead the judge, but do you want me to use a higher die because of my heightened senses, or are you
Is that
accounting for
actually,
that in another manner?
I was accounting for that in the way that you were the only one that has a chance to hear anything.
Then I will roll a d20 and see what I get. With an intelligence mod on that, I assume I got a 17.
A 17. Okay, you definitely hear coming from the main shaft, the direction that the tracks are leading. You hear some like clanking, maybe a couple indistinct voices here and there, faint enough that your lesser eared companions won't even hear it, so you can't make out any words or anything.
And the clanking, is that like the sound of mining or some other sort of noise?
It sounds like maybe there was kind of a thump of a barrel being moved or something. Just it's hard to say exactly. It's not like a regular mining clank clank clank, just
Right.
kind of a few random noises here and there.
All right. Yeah, there's definitely activity ahead. I hear nothing from the side passage at all.
More importantly, what does Braggart smell?
Braggart does not smell anything particularly valuable.
Is there anything special about the construction of the walls, or is it just a standard mine?
It's just a pretty standard mine, and
Okay.
in fact, it's yeah, and even if you hadn't been told that it's an iron mine, you as a dwarf recognize it as an iron mine. You as an elf, Spachemin, also recognize it as an iron mine because your skin just starts to itch.
Yeah. But I am buoyed by knowledge that there is stuff down there somewhere.
There theoretically is, yes. So you continue down the main passageway, is that the plan?
Mhm.
All right.
Yes.
Continuing down the main passageway, it's pretty steep, and it branches again. Like in front of you, the passageway is wide, and it branches off to the right, another wide passageway, and the mine cart tracks veer off to the right-hand passage.
Well, it seems to me that probably we want to follow the mine tracks.
Yeah, if the tracks are only going one direction, the action is going to be wherever the tracks lead.
Well, that would be true for the iron. But the wider
Oh.
path, the one that might have been widened for the barrels, might be the other way.
When I
Freddie, you have a point.
when I say wider, I mean it's wider than the side passage you passed before. But it's the same width as the passage you're currently in.
Oh, okay.
Checking the ground with the lantern for signs of activity. Is there a way to tell? Is there more activity in the direction of the tracks or more activity to the side passage? And indeed, are there any little bits of stuff that are dropped along the way, perhaps?
Yeah, you take a look around at the ground, and it definitely looks like the activity is more like following the tracks.
Right.
Like even though you don't currently see a cart, you can tell that these tracks are still used pretty regularly. And there's like shuffly footprints and things, mostly going down the shaft that the tracks follow.
It may be that the side passages are tapped out veins of ore that have been, they've gone deeper from there because there's nothing more to get at. So I suggest we continue further.
Agreed.
Gentlemen, just curious, among us, you're going to like this bone skull. You're going to like this a lot. What do we have available to us to set fires or spread fires? I'm just
Chairman?
looking at that
This
gooey
lantern.
stuff. If anybody had any oil or anything, because it might be useful. I'm suspecting that those gooey things probably aren't going to light fire.
This is a question. What is Gygax fire?
Oh, that is a mercurial effect on your spell. So whenever you're using, let's see, which one is that? Whenever
Comprehend
you use
languages.
comprehend languages, you yourself are like illuminated with green fire for a certain amount of time. So like if you're trying to hide and you cast that, it's not going to work.
Okay. Gotcha.
It's a
But
side effect essentially of your spell.
Okay, but it's not like normal fire. I can't
No,
ignite
it
things.
basically just lights the area.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I don't think so. I'll double check it, but I don't
Yeah,
think
double
actually.
check it. I don't think it actually sets fire either.
All right, just a thought.
So
No, it's a good thought, but I'm not sure we especially have anything for fire. I do have an ever flaming match, but it's just a match.
I mean, we have quite a lot of
Murder
lanterns
when you
available
put it
to
on your
us.
foot. John, that must be murder when you put it in your pocket.
I blow it out.
I will remind you that your wizard does have a demon claw wand that can set things on fire.
It can on a roll of 19 or 20. Is that consistent enough that I could use it like outside of combat to ignite things?
I mean, I'm kind of imagining that the whole attack is a fire-based attack.
Oh, okay.
And if you roll a 19 or 20, it's like super special that sets them on fire rather
Right.
than just burning them for a second or whatever.
Oh, then
So
yeah,
I'm
my
also in there like, no. Oh wait, I've got a demon wand.
oh yeah, the demon. Yeah,
the demon wand.
the one at my hip that I always keep. I always forget about
Chairman's
my
like,
demon
I have
wand.
this Everlight match. And
Oh,
Fine.
I have a flamethrower with that.
Is that good?
Good.
So, so
done.
you continue down the mine shaft, following the tracks,
Mhm.
and oh, I lost my place again. All right, the winding
We're on
shaft.
page 3.
We're on page 8 actually.
It's like 2 3s back to back.
It is.
2, 3.
The
embrace
winding
it.
shaft eventually opens into a larger, well-lit cavern. There's stone. The air smells of coal and brimstone. There's large stone smelters occupying the southeastern side of the chamber, with piles of coal and shovels and carts lying near them. Toward the northern end of the chamber are 4 large wooden cisterns. And above the cisterns are a series of wide metal pipes coming out from 2 separate tunnels. And from each pipe, this thick white goo, like kind of gradually, like it doesn't stream out, it doesn't pour out, it just kind of like glops out and into the cisterns. And there's several dwarven workers like shuffling to and fro. A couple of them are building barrels. Some of them are filling barrels from the cisterns. A couple of them are loading the full barrels into mine carts. And there are 4 yellow-robed figures sitting by a rickety table with several bottles of wine, just kind of talking amongst themselves and occasionally like taking a look out at the workers.
A handful of yellow-robed figures, eh?
And there are 3 mangy-looking dogs on the floor next to the robed cultists, just kind of chewing on scraps of meat. And yes, as of now, like you're kind of, you know, peeking around a dark corner into this room, and they don't seem to have noticed you at all.
when we see the stuff, I grab onto the back of Spachemin's belt and just make sure he's not heading forward.
I assume that's the cult of currency.
All right. Yeah, do the ropes. Oh, never mind. We didn't see it. You did. So, gentlemen, ideas?
Uh,
I don't know. I could perhaps create a distraction to distract them to give us some kind of edge if we wanted to charge in, but other than that, I'm not sure what to suggest.
well, we're aiming to stop the stuff being produced so that the mine can get back to being mined for iron, I assume.
I don't see why this mine couldn't produce both things. I mean, we're really here to get the iron flowing again, but
He's not wrong.
there weren't any instructions to stop anything else from being mined here.
I suspect that my cousin doesn't want his kingdom overrun with skin suits filled with marshmallow fluff.
Okay.
Okay.
That doesn't mean we can't have some of this delicious stuff, though.
Yes, that would exactly. Remember your immortal elven brain that's going to be consumed by marshmallow fluff?
It's good for you. It says it right
I
on
mean,
the
it's
barrels.
bedded on the barrels. It's good for you.
Yeah,
All right.
it's true.
So I see that our options are, we've got, how many things did you see? How many?
4.
A handful.
There
Handful
are
of-
4 cultists, 3 dogs, and
Couple of dwarves.
at various points, anywhere between like 8 to 15 dwarves, just depending. Like occasionally some wander out to do something and more wander in.
And those cisterns are made of wood, you said.
Yes.
And then does the path continue on after that, or is this like little?
Yeah. Each of the pipes that are draining into the cistern, like they're kind of up near the ceiling, but each one goes down a different passageway, one to the right and one to the left.
So at the moment, we are outnumbered 3-1 for the marshmallow-filled dwarves. We've got 4 of the cultists, and we've got 3 dogs that may be wonderful, happy little pets, or they might be mangy little attack monsters. So the question is, do we want to actually initiate a full-scale fight, or do we want to see if we can rush in? Well, the cultists don't seem to have control over these things. They're just sort of mildly directing them.
Jeff did.
But Spachemin, you said you might be able to cause a distraction.
I could perhaps distract them with some flicker of light or strange sound that would draw their attention away from us, allowing us to perhaps attack them from behind instead of.
Well, I mean, I'm not the brains of the outfit. That's Bragger's job. But if we manage to distract them down one corridor, we could potentially sneak down the other corridor instead of fighting them, getting to the source of the tasty goodness.
Oh, so hold on. Looking at my map here, there's actually 4 corridors. There's the one you're coming in.
Of course, there's 4.
There's 2 that the pipes are going down. Yeah, 4 exactly. And then there's another one off kind of to the left where the rail track goes into the room and then down that passageway.
Did you say that there was a mine cart on the track?
There's a couple mine carts on the track, like down in the room where they're being loaded with barrels.
And not to bog the game down with practical matters, but what is the distance to one or the other of these other passages? Because my cantrips spell has a range of 40 feet. So if they're like, oh yeah, 80 feet to the other corridor.
Oh no, it's not that
to...
far. Like the farthest one is maybe 25, 30 feet.
Okay. So it's within the kind of range where I could
absolutely
create a flicker of light that they might go, what was that? Go check it out, and at least be distracted momentarily while we duck in the other direction. And
yes.
Okay.
What if we got a running start and jumped in the last mine cart and then rode the mine cart?
I am so there.
Great. Take off running.
That's the only option we have.
Okay, Bragger just took off running because he likes to play that. Okay.
Nope, there was confirmation that was a good idea. He's gone.
Okay.
Right
good.
behind
Cool.
you.
Oh shit.
if I accidentally call you Rick,
So you charge into the room running for the mine cart,
I'm really
can I
glad
quickly,
we have these
once I realize he's running, can I quickly attempt my cantrips and see if I can create a further distraction just to add
Sure. Go ahead. You can get that off while he's running to the cart. Sure.
And Dieter, I don't know if you heard me. I'm right behind you.
Okay.
All right. So I basically got a total of 24.
Ooh. All right.
My cantrips, my mercurial magic for it is I cast it with a D24, and I rolled a 21. So I can basically choose any of these effects.
What are you choosing?
I'm going to flip the table, as if one of them just flipped the table on the other 3.
Nice.
And see if they'll be tied up, trying to argue amongst themselves or whatever. Like, what the hell did you do that for? And we can do this mad dash.
Okay, so Braggart and Frankie are running for the mine cart, and this all happens so suddenly. The cultist table spontaneously flips over. So they're too distracted to all this stuff is going on at once. So Braggart, you leap into the mine cart. It's on this particular mine cart only has one barrel of stuff in it so far, so there's plenty of room for you. And as you leap into it, kind of your own momentum like starts it going down the tracks into the mine. And Frankie, you're coming up behind him. I'm going to need you to make an agility check if you want to get into the same cart as him while it's moving.
Can I make a strength check to make the leap, or is it agility?
Let's call it agility, I think.
Excellent.
Can I do anything can I mighty deed the reach out to help him?
Well, I don't know. Let's see what he got.
I rolled a 3.
Three.
Not looking good.
Not looking good. No, so you leap for the cart right as Braggart gets in it, and you really misjudge your leap there, and you kind of just like slam against the side of it, giving Braggart's cart even more momentum, but you are sadly not in the cart.
And I reach out, and my hand reaches out, and Braggart reaches out, and he grabs, and the glove comes off. And so he's holding this 4-fingered glove as I just pile into the dirt.
Perfect. Okay, so why don't we all roll initiative from here? I guess. that seems like, or here. Actually, we've only got 10 minutes left, and this seems like a great place to cliffhanger it, if we want to call it a night.
Yeah.
And maybe to those people watching, we'll come back and finish this. Maybe we won't. We don't know yet. It depends on schedules and things like that. So yeah, thank you all for playing. This has been a blast. I've had a lot of fun. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Elena, for making it all happen technologically. And yeah, hopefully we'll be back soon and we'll finish this.
Right, and we have to tell you guys to hit the follow button,
the subscribe,
subscribe button. Oh.
Right.
Don't hit it, just press it.
You had one job, Braggart.
Punch it. Punch that button.
Get in the trolley. Done.
All right. Well,
and if we could just point out, boys and girls, think carefully the next time before eating that marshmallow. Is it really worth it?
Check your Halloween candy carefully.
Right. It might have stuff in it.
You never know.
All right. Well, let's call it then. Good night, everyone.
All right.
Thanks, everybody.